Hello, everyone, and welcome to the College Podcast by User College. My name is Essen, and I am the academic and college counselor at User. Today, we have an exceptional guest with us. Her name is Maryam Asif. Maryam completed her O levels from Beacon House School System and did her A levels from Cedar College, achieving top in Pakistan in her psychology subject in year 2025. Maryam is now pursuing her LLB honors degree from University of London at Dunning Law School. So it's an incredible achievement by Maryam and truly inspirational for all of our students. How are you doing, Maryam, today?
I'm really good, thank you.
Okay, so Maryam, welcome to the podcast, and you know that you are here today to talk about psychology as an A-level subject, right? So I just wanted to ask that when you first chose psychology at A-level, what attracted you to that specific subject?
Okay, so I came from a science background. Like in O levels, I had science subjects.
Okay.
So I always wanted a humanity subject, law, psychology.
Interesting.
And so it was really like interesting to look at the syllabus outline and see like you're learning about stress and pain and adherence to medical advice and stuff like this. So that's one of the reasons why I was like I'm going to choose psychology.
Great. So looking back, what do you think psychology 9990 demands the most from a student like you?
I think what psychology demands is being consistent and being disciplined.
Okay.
So there's a lot of content, and so what you need to do is you need to consistently revise that content. You need to learn how to answer questions. You need to be present in classes, listen
Exactly,
to
yes.
lectures. It's just another subject. You have to take it as another subject, and you're gonna ace it.
So you're trying to say that every student needs to be very, very consistent in terms of their
Exactly.
academic learning. So did you ever feel you were performing at a distinction level, and what were expectations while giving the CI exam and getting to know in the month of August that you are a high achiever in psychology?
So I did not expect it all.
Okay.
Psychology was kind of one of my weaker subjects.
Oh, really?
Yeah, considering my all other subjects. So I was not expecting it, but I was expecting an A star, but not like a distinction.
Okay.
That's like a huge honor that I did get a distinction.
Okay, great. So, Mariam, one of the things our listeners often, usually ask about is the kind of support that makes a difference, and inside the classroom or outside the classroom. How did the guidance and academic support you received throughout the psychology 9990 as a subject, which helped you prepare, and which aspects do you think were the most impactful?
I think my teachers were great, like Sir Salman. I had Sir Salman in my A2, and he was always there to guide us.
Okay.
He had an approach that he would, with the subject, he would give us real life examples. And so what that helped with psychology is a very like real life subject. So getting that kind of examples, you would understand what you're studying.
Okay.
And then we had a lot of resources that he got us, which were like, for example, we had rapid revision notes.
Yes.
And then we have flash notes, which are the core notes. And then we have the books. So we would listen to the lecture, go back and look at the flash notes. And when you have less time, like one day before the exam, you just review the rapid revision notes and you're good.
Okay. So you mean that consistency, revision, and resources from the top faculty like Sir Salman helped you
Exactly.
Through the journey of psychology. That makes a lot of sense. Sense, support, and guidance can make a real impact. So moving on to the exam itself, can you share one or two specific, changes you made in your answer writing, that noticeably improved your marks, and especially for the application or, evaluation type of questions?
So I used to not make links between my answers. So what you mean by links is you have like situational questions sometimes, and so you need to apply your knowledge.
Okay.
And then you need to link it to the situation.
How would you describe that link? For example, if a student asks you that, how to describe that specific link?
So what you need to do is you have memorized your content, right?
Okay.
But then you have a specific situation, like the doctor did this, or the student did this. What you need to do is you need to write your knowledge, and then you link it to the student or the doctor or the character in the question.
Exactly.
And that's how you link your answers, and then being to the point. Like writing answers to the point. You don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, I understand.
And you don't have a lot of lines to write
Exactly, yes.
whatever you want to write, right? So you need to keep it very short, very precise. Whatever the question is asking you, just write that.
So that's really a practical advice, and I'm sure our students, will find that very useful. So moving on from your experience, Mariam, are there any common mistakes you see psychology students making, again and again, even the stronger ones? So what do you think are the common mistakes?
I think one of the common mistakes is that they choose what they want to study. For example, clinical psychology. Let's talk about clinical psychology.
Okay.
You do health psychology in your first term, and then you have an option between clinical psychology and organizational psychology.
Okay.
But you don't have a lot of time to get into clinical psychology, memorize everything. It's better to do something that can get you the marks.
Okay.
And so this is what Sir Salman told us. He made us sit down in one class and he just gave us the syllabus. And he's like, this is what you're going to get if you do clinical, and this is what you're going to do when you're doing the organization. And we could see the clear difference between the how much hard work we need to give into for clinical and for organizational. And so choosing the specialist option, which gets you the grade, is what you need to do.
So how would you differentiate clinical psychology and organizations, psychology for a student?
So for clinical, it's more like medical terms.
Okay.
Getting to the brain, and it's that is exciting. I would say that's why most people choose psychology. That's why I chose psychology. But then you can do all of these things in your summer breaks. Right now you need the grade.
Okay, yeah.
And you can do all of this later when you're done with your A levels in your holidays. And then for organizational, it's more like business aspects.
I understand.
Okay. Leadership, motivation. That's a difference.
Yes, that's that's something important to keep in mind. Thank you for pointing that out. Maryam, the managing multiple subjects can be very, very challenging. I mean, during A levels, the time is very, especially in AS, right? So how did you balance psychology with your other A level subjects? Like, what were your other A level subjects, and how did you balance psychology? Stating a fact that you received top in Pakistan in the year 2025.
So I had law and business, and
Okay.
and then I had psychology. So both law and business and psychology, they're very like memorization based. You need to memorize a lot. There's a lot of time management. You have very less time to write the answers, and they're lengthy answers. So how I manage them is like keeping a schedule. Psychology I'll do Monday, Tuesday is law,
Yeah, so kind of a study plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so in your experience, what role did the word consistency play compared to the last minute revision in achieving your final results? Of course you balanced it very well, keeping the fact that business, law, and psychology, but where that balance played a part in psychology specifically?
So for psychology, there's a lot of content. As I said, like there's a lot of content, and then at the very end month, you're like scrambling to like get all the content right and memorize all of it. So being consistent from day one, memorizing that content from day one is important, because you cannot do that in your last month. And even if you are, I would say go through the rapid revision notes, right? And then, but like I would say my advice is be consistent throughout. Like if you cannot do it, you are tired throughout the day, weekdays, do it in weekends.
Okay.
Take time out on weekends, revise your content, memorize your content, you're good to go.
Okay, great. So I'll come to expectations, mindset and distinction moment, which you experienced, right? So before results day, were you expecting a distinction, or did you keep your expectations guaranteed?
So I was not expecting distinction. It was a very big surprise for me. I just came back from university, and my parents were like, you got a distinction. And I looked at the email, I couldn't believe it.
Okay.
But then I looked at my answers. So this time we got our scripts back. So I looked at my answers, I looked at my marks, I was like, okay, yeah.
That's something to be, proud of. Exactly. All right. So what was the immediate reaction when you found out you were a Cambridge high achiever and top in Pakistan? Yes, you told me that your parents called you and they showed you the email and you went through your answers. What was your reaction? Being a psychology achiever, top achiever in Pakistan, how would you describe this?
I think it was very surreal. It was really like, I don't believe this moment. But then, and then top in Pakistan is something that I got to know at the ceremony. So I was not expecting it. I was thinking maybe top in Sindh and Balochistan, which is also great, but then I didn't
top in the country.
Top in the country is a really big achievement.
Great.
So yeah.
Great. So how did that distinction, affect your confidence, your perspective, and on yourself as a learner and the future academic goals, especially as you moved into law?
So it made me not self-doubt myself. Like even if if I'm putting in the hard work, I know I'll get the result. not everybody thinks that, but if you are putting in the result, you're consistent, you're disciplined, you're gonna get the result.
Yeah.
So, and that just made me confident that if I put in the hard work, I'll get the result. And even as like a law student now, I just know that it's not really worth it to take like that much stress on yourself and be hard on yourself if you're gonna achieve what you are meant to achieve.
Exactly. So how do you think, Maryam, psychology aligns with law as a degree?
So there's memorization in both the subjects, and there's time management, answer writing. So how psychology helped me is, time management. Like I know I need to write the answer in this time, and then again, law asks you to do the same thing.
Okay.
So that, and then how I need to structure my answers, how to evaluate, that's a really big thing in psychology.
So basically analysis and writing techniques.
Exactly.
Okay, great. So finally, what key tips would you give to students, aiming for top grades in psychology 9990, especially things that are, usually overlooked?
So I would say go through, be consistent. Okay, all the things that I've already said, that be consistent. And then also choose the specialist option that is the best for you. And given the time, I would say that's organizational. And I think Sir Salman would say the same thing.
Great.
So choose organizational, be easy on yourself.
Okay.
And yeah.
So, all right. So that's very, inspiring, Maryam. I would like to ask one last question from you is that if you could go back and speak to yourself on the very first day of A-level psychology with the top faculty like Sir Salman, what advice would you give to students who are filling their A-level applications and selecting psychology as their subject for the 2 years?
I would say it's really fun. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy Sir Salman classes if you get Sir Salman.
Okay.
And it's a really interesting subject. You learn a lot of different aspects of that subject. You learn a lot of real life examples and real life, experiences that you get through psychology. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Enjoy your A-levels.
Okay, great. Maryam, thank you so much for sharing your journey, your strategies, your insights with us today at User College. Your story is not only inspiring about psychology student, but also for anyone, striving and struggling for academic excellence. So thank you so much for coming, taking out the time from your law studies. I know law is a bit, technical too, but thank you so much. And we wish you, thank you so much. And we wish you all the best for your future academic goals. Thank you. To our listeners, I hope you take away practical experience and mindset regarding consistency from Maryam's point of view. Yes, A-level is all about hard work, but remember one thing. It's also about smart work, consistency, and balancing between your academics and your other activities. Thank you for tuning into College Podcast by User College, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care and goodbye.